Started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are back for week number 4, Saturday night Rocket League, and let me tell you, we got quite a few, well, 2 exactly, bangers in front of us. We're starting things off in the Novice League. We've got the undefeated Whelps, 7-0, going up against Diffusion with a 3-4 record. Whelps looking for their 8th win in a row. Diffusion coming off of a win against the Wisps on Wednesday, looking to carry this momentum and hand Whelps their very first loss. Your boy Psychonautic in the booth, ready to bring you some of this sweet play-by-play action tonight. And I am joined by the legendary Squirrel himself, my friend. Happy to have you in the booth. It's been too long.
Yeah, Psycho, it feels like forever, especially since I'm fresh off vacation, back into the Nemesis work, and I'm going to be taking over color today, so, the point of color is to fill you in, so let me fill you in on these teams real quick, as the Whelps going to be rocking with Jeff Masters, Gerbsies, and Mr. Marino, taking on the Diffusion roster with Seiko, Removing Pillow, and Martin Storm 15. A lot of familiar faces and some new people on these rosters.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty hot. The Whelps looking pretty hot. Jeff Masters and Mr. Marino just seemingly unstoppable in the Novice League. But, Diffusion, I don't know. I don't know if they got what it takes, to be honest with you. I'm interested to see if they got what it takes. They're definitely not the worst team in Novice. So I think that I think the Whelps better watch out, put at least a little respect on Diffusion's name.
Yeah, anytime you're going against a team that's right at 500, always expect a lot of fight out of those teams, not wanting to fall even further behind where they already are. And this is a division matchup, Psycho. This was a flex from Monday, so Whelps versus Diffusion. I think this is the last division match that's going to be played in the Novice League uh, until our next round of division matches later in the season. But for the first time that you face a team, the Whelps, even though they're looking solid, they have to come out guns a blazing, and Diffusion is going to have to do whatever they can to withstand what's about to happen.
And speaking of that, Squirrel, let me hear it from you. Let's hear that caster prediction. Who do you think is taking home this dub tonight? Diffusion, or you think Whelps is going to shut it down and remain undefeated?
I I don't like uh I don't like doing this on stream, but I just have to give it 3-0 to the Whelps.
Oh, calling for the sweep. You think Diffusion doesn't stand a chance? And hopefully we've got everybody in the lobby. We've been given the signal to join up. Nobody's joining up. Hey, but Whelps with the sweep. I don't know, man. Like you said, coming out, a team coming as close to being 500 as Diffusion is. They got a lot of fight in them. They've got a lot to prove, and I know that the players on Diffusion, removing Pillow specifically, is is definitely ready to step up to the challenge, and I think can step up to the challenge.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Like removing pillow is one that is uh very well known here in the novice league, and Seiko is a name that I've heard a lot about. And if he has a good pop off game, if removing pillow can just fill in that support role, maybe that second man role. Martin Storm, if he can just hold his own against this Whelps roster, then it could stretch this series out to game 4 or game 5. But right now, the Whelps, especially in the novice league, you don't see undefeated teams all that often, just with how inconsistent they are. But right now, they're the most consistent team in the league, undefeated, and I fully expect for them to stay that way after tonight.
Well, after a bit of a novice moment there, we finally got all the players to join up onto the field, and we're going to get in straight into the action. Game 1 in this best of 5 series. The final, Seiko coming in, or is that Psycho coming in strong, starting things off for Diffusion and taking control of the match early.
Yeah, just a very solid angle, just catching the Whelps off guard and doing exactly what they need to do. Coming out here, punching them in the face early to take just a quick lead.
And we'll see if they're able to carry that quick lead into possibly getting an insurance goal, or if the Whelps are going to clap back quicker, then they'll be able to secure that second goal. As Marino in the midfield misses the ball in the corner. Removing Pillow going to clear that one out. Bangs it all the way back into Whelps' corner. Jeff going to stick with it on the sidewall. Flips off. He can't follow it. He sends it all the way down into Seiko's hands. Seiko can't really do much with it. Gribsy missing his shot. Jeff Masters is there. He's going to get the touch. He sends it to the back of the net, and we now got a tie ball game with 4:04 left on the clock.
Yeah, a good 50 by that Batmobile off the corner. Jeff Masters fast enough to read that one and beat the defender there. Getting a nice angle of his own just to even this one up.
Jeff Masters with the advantage on the kickoff. Marino missing his touch there. Grebsy's up. Doesn't get the touch he's looking for. Jeff Masters going to 50 with Pillow. And Martin Storm comes in, gets it in front of the net. Whelps, that was dangerous, but they were able to get it cleared away. Martin trying to send it back. Marino going to take a little bit of time with it, get it on his car and get the flick, but he flicks it straight into the defender. Grebsy's shot going to go high. The ball floats in the midfield, removing Pillow. He's got a look on net, and it goes over the defender. Diffusion once again taking the lead 2-1.
Yeah, removing Pillow. I love that he decided to take a touch instead of just putting it on net initially. Him slowing it down really caught that defender off guard. And, in Novice League, you don't see those dribble play flicks happen too often. So I don't think the Whelps were quite ready for that one.
Well, they're going to have to be a little bit more ready, just like Jeff Masters was ready for that pass from Mr. Marino.
Yeah, keeping the ball in the air, I think this is going to be one of the keys to victory for the Whelps. It seems like in the air, they are faster than pretty much the rest of Novice League right now. And we've already seen that Diffusion has a really solid ground game. So Welp's gonna have to keep this ball in the air.
And we'll see if they're able to, as Removing Pillow's got another shot, but it's going to hit the post. Not going to work out for him. Pillow with the 50. Marino with the boop touch, but Psycho getting in front of it makes the save. Psycho going to follow it into Welp's territory. Jeff Masters 50 in the defensive zone. Removing Pillow gets the pinch to put it out, but the ball gets cleared away by Welps. Mr. Moreno's there off the backboard. Grebsy there to follow up. He gets the touch, and Welps take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, a really good bounce there allows Mr. Marino to get a good pass off the backboard. Grebsy there to follow it up, and there it is again, Psycho. Just the Welps having success when the ball is in the air.
And that has been a thing for them so far, and we'll see if maybe that carries them to a W here tonight. And we'll see if Diffusion is able to adapt to that. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for Diffusion to come back, tie things up, and possibly even take the lead once again. But as it stands, the Welps are controlling the pace of this match. Jeff Masters to send that down to the corner. And Martin Storm to send it out. Grebsy keeping control in the midfield, but Removing Pillow is going to remove the control from Grebsy. Jeff Masters keeping the pressure alive. Jeff Masters going for it, but can't beat out the defender. And Pillow's got control in the midfield. Pillow taking it through. Grebsy gets it over Moreno into the front of the net, but the ball gets immediately cleared out by the last defender. Martin Storm gets it past one, gets it past two. Jeff Masters trying to get it out. It gets clipped and sent up. Removing Pillow to touch it back to his own corner with a minute 38 seconds left on the clock here, Squirrel. Diffusion still unable to tie things up, and this is dangerous for them. Marino with the touch. Jeff Masters trying to keep it, but it's going to get bounced away. Grebsy with the shot, but they seem to be a bit on their heels here, Squirrel. They seems like Welps is heating up offensively.
Yeah, the Welps are looking super comfortable right now. And you mentioned Diffusion needing to tie it up. They had that chance earlier this game where they just hit an open net off the crossbar or off the side post, and that's really coming back to bite them in the butt right now, as they are just down by one with with a minute left to play.
And they need to get something going. They haven't been able to generate much offense in the latter portion of this game number one. But they have to. It is down to a do or die moment. They have to at least tie this game up to send it into overtime, or they are going to face Welps taking control of the series with the first win. Jeff Masters with the pop out to the mid. Psycho up, makes the touch. Grebsy trying to get it back in front of Diffusion's net, but Martin Storm not going to let that happen. Martin Storm sticking with it. 50s through Jeff Masters. And the ball gets cleared across the mid line. Removing Pillow pops it up. The final 15 seconds. Is Diffusion going to be able to make something happen here, or are they going to go behind in the series? Psycho gets in front of it, makes the touch. He might have something going up to Removing Pillow. Jeff Masters with the touch. If they can just keep it up and alive, it's in the Welps defensive zone, but the Welps going to put it down and receive the first W in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, and it was just absolute great play from the Welps that allowed them to get that one. Excellent air domination in that first game. And Diffusion, not ones to just count out of this one. I know I said they were going to lose 3-0. I still stand by that, but they came out, they sucker punched Welps at the start, and they look solid so far. And I think they have a lot of potential to stretch this series out.
Yeah, I certainly think so, but Diffusion's definitely going to have to get out of their own defensive zone. Welps, once they got that pressure going, they just started to suffocate Diffusion. And I mean, Welps had 6 shots to Diffusion's 3 shots. Gave Diffusion shows that Diffusion's a little bit more deadly when it comes to their accuracy than the Welps are, but it's not going to do them much good if they can't keep the ball in Welp's defensive zone and keep a sustained pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. And I remember, when I played for the Pineapples, we were a very high pressure offense, and we would put a lot of shots on net. But Welps doing a good job of putting that pressure on and doing a good job of keeping the ball out of their net for the most part, limiting diffusion and their solid accuracy to so few shots.
And we'll see if the Whelps are able to do that again, or if Diffusion's going to make some sort of changes and possibly take game 2, tie the series up. Or if Whelps are going to take their second win here and go into a match point. Psycho missing his shot. It's going to go high. Martin with the backflip. He's a little bit awkward, but he's just trying to keep the pressure alive for Diffusion. The ball gets missed in the midfield, and the removing pillow dunks it off of Marino. He's got time. They're going for the bump on him, but Martin pushed up just a little bit too far to catch that pass. Psycho tries, but it gets defended away. Grebsy going to get control of the ball in the Whelps defensive zone. 50s in Diffusion's defensive zone. Martin Storm pops it up. He can't follow it. Psycho's there, but it gets batted away. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock now. Neither of these teams have scored yet, Squirrel, and it seems like Whelps aren't as hot as they were at the end of game number 1, so maybe they need to reheat up.
Yeah, it might be a trend for them to start out each game slow, as you know they've been the ones under pressure in this game. They got scored on first last game, but I expect the Whelps to heat up, get the ball out of their half, and start putting some pressure on.
And Psycho with the touch, sending it into Whelps' corner. This could be dangerous. Pillow's up, but his touch not going to go where he wants it to. Grebsy gets it past one. Jeff Masters there to follow, but he lands on top of a removing pillow and can't recover. Removing pillow with control, bounces it up. Jeff Masters is there, sends it into his own corner. Martin Storm to send it back, but Jeff Masters again with the touch to send it across into his other corner. Martin Storm coming out of Diffusion's corner. Mr. Moreno's there. He gets the pinch, but the ball gets cleared out by Diffusion as we near the midway point in game number 2 here. We still have a 0-0 scoreline, Squirrel, and I can't really tell who has the advantage at this point, to be honest. It seems like both teams can't really sustain much offense, and they'd be, having novice moments in the midfield, missing touches and such.
It's weird. Like, I would give the advantage to Diffusion just because they have 3 shots, but Whelps, on the other hand, have 3 saves. Even though Diffusion is putting more shots on target, the Whelps, all of their players sitting at a higher score than the highest Diffusion player. So it seems like it's a lot of individual efforts coming from Diffusion, and I think if they can just work a demo in to open this net up, they'll have a lot better success.
And Psycho with the shot there, but it just barely misses, bounces off of the post. Removing pillow gets the stop, but it's not good enough. The ball is still going to get cleared out of Whelps' zone. The ball gets pinched all the way back into the Whelps' corner once again. The removing pillow's there. He gets the touch, but it doesn't do much. Jeff Masters to send it away. Excuse me. Psycho trying to get it through, not able to. Martin going to pick up the offensive push here. Martin trying to get in front of it, but Grebsy makes the save, clears it to the side. Removing pillow, keeping the pressure up for Diffusion. The ball does get cleared out and immediately sent back into Whelps' defensive zone. Moreno's up, but he gets beat out by Psycho. And the ball gets touched into the other corner. Psycho just leaves it. And now Whelps with the offensive push. Jeff Masters misflipping a little bit there. Couldn't keep with the ball. Mr. Moreno might have a shot on net, and it's going to bounce off of Psycho's car and go into the net. Whelps finally taking the lead. Now only 50 seconds left in this game.
Yeah, a brilliant first touch by Mr. Marino, and then a great use of his air roll to just get around that ball and put it on target, and just an unfortunate miss save there from Diffusion just breaks this game wide open with just under 45 seconds left to play.
Yeah, Diffusion's definitely in a corner now as they look to lose the second match as well and set themselves up to be swept by this undefeated Whelps roster, which I'm sure is not what they wanted. Grebsy going to take it off the top of the car. Marino puts it off the backboard. Psycho's up. He gets the touch and sends it away. Jeff Masters to keep the pressure alive, keep the offensive push going. Jeff Masters out to the mid. Psycho trying to clear it out, bounces it off his own teammate's car. Unfortunately, it bounces up, and Mr. Marino going to clean the clock on that shot.
Yeah, just unfortunate positioning there from Diffusion allows for an awkward bounce up high, and Mr. Marino just in that Batmobile showing all of its capabilities, putting an aerial goal in, and just turning what was a close game into a 2-0. Looking to make it 2-1, padding the stats a little bit, as I think this one might be over, barring an unfortunate kickoff.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be an unfortunate kickoff. 4 seconds left, definitely possible. Can definitely score off of a kickoff, but that's what it's going to have to be. Can Diffusion do it right here, right now? This is the only shot that they have. The ball is up. It could be in favor of Diffusion. Martin with the touch off the backboard. Is a teammate there? They double and they're not able to get it in. The Whelps gonna bounce it up and possibly get one for the road themselves. No, it's gonna touch, but Whelps are your winners in game number 2, and they now are sitting on match point for this best of 5 series.
A great chance. I think if it wasn't for the double commit, just a little bit better calms coming out from those players on the Fusion that double committed. I think you could have had one to tie it up and send this one to overtime. But Whelps, they clutch it up. They get the job done. They put themselves in a great position to try and get this early sweep. And what can I say? They're all three of the Whelps players are playing great. Diffusion, it's like they're having their moments where it's really good, but it's like they're just not all three there at the same time ready to capitalize.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel like they definitely played better in game number 1 than they did in game number 2. So hopefully, the losses aren't weighing on their the mental side of their game, because they've got the most daunting situation in front of them now. If they want to get this W here tonight, they have to pull off the reverse sweep. Starts with game number 3, starts with the win. Will Diffusion pull it off? Or are Whelps going to shut things down right here, right now with a sweep of their own? We will have to see as it unfolds in front of our eyes. Removing pillows up, but the defense is going to beat him out. Jeff Masters trying to clear it out, but Psycho puts it back into the Whelps corner. Martin Storm is there. He gets the touch off the backboard. Jeff Masters is there to clear it away. Removing pillow, trying to get control. Going to keep control in the corner. He gets it past 2 defenders. Gets it in front of the net, but didn't look like that he had any teammate help there to clean that up or even try to take a shot on the net. Removing pillow gets in front of the Whelps, trying to make an offensive push. Martin Storm with the save and sends it all the way across as Mr. Marino is going to miss his touch. Martin Storm puts it off the backboard. Jeff Masters is there. And I don't know, Squirrel, with the minute gone, it feels like if Diffusion just had a second man, feels like they don't have somebody playing a second man. They just have somebody drive it down, and then whoever is their second man seems to be way too far away, way too often.
Yeah, they're not all on the same page. You have to have a solid 3-man rotation, all on offense, all on defense, all rotating very well. And that's just not the case here, unlike the Whelps, who, they have a player ready for that ball right there. And I think that's the type of ball that Diffusion is missing, as Mr. Marino puts one in to take a 1-goal lead.
And that may be the only goal that needs to get scored. Whelps now just have to basically play defensively, run down this 3.5-minute clock, and don't allow Diffusion any good looks on their net. And they've got an easy sweep W here tonight. Mr. Marino getting in front of that one as Diffusion has yet another dropped opportunity. But removing Pello, gonna get up and find a nice touch on that one, finding Diffusion's first goal in what feels like forever, but they tie it up.
Yeah, it was a great 50 off the backboard, and Diffusion gets one early in this game. As you remember, it took them all the way until there was 4 seconds left last game to score. So good for the confidence, getting one early, tying this one up, and now you can look to play for a win here. As this one already on net, and Jeff
Oh,
Masters not able to get it. Martin Storm making his impact known.
Martin Storm catching the defense lacking. So you're going to need to put a little bit more respect on my name than that. He gets the touch off the sidewall, and Jeff Masters just not fast enough, doesn't react fast enough to get back to that one to stop it. Diffusion now with the lead, 3 minutes left on the clock. Can Diffusion score another one as Martin Storm puts a pot shot on net, but Marino gets in front of it. Jeff Masters missing his touch. Psycho out of the corner, removing Pello was there, but Grebsy gonna beat him out and get it cleared away from his net. Mr. Marino pops it up. He's there for the follow. Can he get a third touch? No. Psycho's gonna get in front of him. Martin Storm with the touch in the midfield. The ball bounces off of the ceiling. Jeff Masters misses his touch, or at least his touch bounces into removing Pello and goes in the favor of Diffusion. Grebsy going to get the dunk and the clear as we are just now past the midway point of game number 3. Diffusion was in the lead, but Mr. Marino with a touch is going to put a softball in and tie us up at 2.
What a read. He's up in the air before the ball even hits the backboard, something that you'd never see in the Novice League. Usually they're waiting until the ball gets a lot lower to the ground before they even jump, but Mr. Marino playing with all the confidence in the world, getting up early for that one. The shot a little soft, but it went in, and doing a great job tying that one up.
Yep, it's not always about how hard you hit that ball. Sometimes it's about where you place that ball, as Mr. Marino just showed us with a soft touch placed perfectly past the defenders. And that's all you need in some situations. Marino trying to get the low 50 through. Grebsy's there to help him out off of the sidewall. That waterfall's down. Grebsy's there again, but his shot going to bounce off of the defender and go high. Mr. Marino to bring it back. Coming off the ceiling. Okay. Starting to show off a little bit here. As Jeff Masters keeping the pressure alive for the Whelps. But Martin Storm not going to let it through. Mr. Marino, the awkward touch, puts it back into the corner. Grebsy trying to keep it going, but Psycho with the touch to get it out. Jeff Masters with the shot that's going to go wide. And the ball is going to get cleared away as we get close to the final 60 seconds in this match. We are still tied up. And Squirrel, based on what you've seen, you think that the Whelps are about to close this out, or are you anticipating Diffusion to send this into a game 4?
I genuinely think that the Whelps are just revving it up right now. They're looking just so much better as this game goes on, but a nice air dribble coming out and good defense. But the Whelps, their aggression has just gone through the roof in this last minute and a half, and I expect them to keep it up and probably close this one out.
And they better hope that Psycho doesn't get a good look on getting another air dribble. It looked like he kind of knew what he was doing there. Martin Storm gonna sneak one in, catching the Whelps, pushed up just a little bit too far.
Excuse me, you my words. I just said that Whelps were going to close this one out, but he does a good job, gets a nice touch off to the side, and is quick enough to get back to it, put a shot on net, and I think that was Jeff Masters just not quite able to get back to that one. And with 20 seconds left, Diffusion looking to extend the series.
Yes, they are, and this right here is exactly what they need to get a reverse sweep. They need this, and then the next 2 games. But it starts right here. All the confidence, all the momentum starts with the first game in the reverse sweep. The ball is still up, but they just got to put it down. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Diffusion going to be your winners in game number 3, starting their first win of a possible reverse sweep, unless the Whelps are going to pull something out here. Maybe they're giving us the gentleman sweep for the content, but I don't know. Either way, it was a good showing from Diffusion right there, Squirrel, and I expect to see some good things moving forward.
Yeah, I think the difference maker was Martin Storm. He showed up for that game, and he's going to have to continue to show up if they're going to want to get this reverse sweep. Whelps started off really slow. They picked it up towards the end, but I think I think Mr. Marino might have been trying to get a little too flashy instead of just trying to get the job done. But I'm not too worried for the Whelps. I think they can uh they can fix what was wrong in that last game. They can talk about it and they can come out ready in this next game. And Diffusion has some confidence now, so I look for them to be playing a little bit better as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the Whelps definitely have what it takes to not get reverse swept. A team that's undefeated, 4 weeks in, shows that they have an adaptability. They haven't been sweeping all of their opponents. They have got some sweeps, but they've taken some L's as well as far as within the series itself. So that shows that they have had to adapt to certain scenarios, change up their tactics, and they've been able to do it successfully. I expect them to be able to do something pretty good here in shutting down Diffusion. But I am interested to see if Diffusion can pull off the reverse sweep as we get a double whiff on this first ball as it bounces. Marino gets a good flick up, but Psycho to get in front of it. Mr. Marino trying to get it through, but his second shot is going to bounce off a post. Psycho coming off of the sidewall, and we know he has the ability to do something with those air dribbles, but he gets clobbered by one of the Whelps defenders, and that was a dangerous pinch, but Psycho was back, and he clears it all the way back into the Whelps corner. Martin with the 50. Martin waiting on Grebsy's touch, gets a banger all the way across, a little bit too high for Removing Pillow to try and go for, but Diffusion keeping a sustained offense right now. Grebsy gets it through. Psycho gets dunked. Removing Pillow is up. He gets the touch to send it back over the midway line and gets a dunk, but it doesn't go towards the net. He's going to leave that for Martin Storm to come in. Gets it past one defender, but Jeff Masters holds out strong. A minute gone now from the clock. We still have a 0-0 game here. Squirrels looking a lot like game number 3 so far.
Yeah, it is, and Diffusion just seems like they're right there on the cusp of scoring, but Whelps just able to send it away every single time. And one thing I want to point out is I feel like the Whelps are controlling the ball a lot more than they were during the early part of the series, where I felt like they were just booming the ball downfield and then beating Diffusion to it. Now they're playing a little more controlled, and I think that's playing right into Diffusion's hands.
And we got a big play coming out right here as we get a pass from Psycho, and then it looked like a bump from, I couldn't tell who bumped who there, but I'm pretty sure that opened it up for Martin Storm to have a good shot on net.
Yeah, absolutely. And, once again, Diffusion scoring first. We saw it in game 1. If you're a Diffusion fan, you're hoping for a different result, and you're hoping that they can push this one to game 5. But Psycho is going to be a long 3 minutes.
It certainly is. And Whelps looking a little bit more panicky on the pitch now than they have been so far. Removing Pillow trying to get the ground to air dribble, but he's not going to get it through the defenders. But Whelps going to need to figure something out, calm down, clear their heads, and change something up, as they seem to be getting kind of stuck in their own defensive half more than they have been. They got to ramp back up that aggression that we saw from game 1 and game 2. Removing Pillow with the touch in the midfield. Grebsy's there. He gets in front of it, but Martin Storm, to take it away from him, sends it off of the backboard. Removing Pillow there, but the defender beats him to it and pops it up. Psycho trying to get a touch, sends it off the sidewall. Martin Storm's there for it to send it across the halfway line. Mr. Marino with the save in the mid to Grebsy. Back down to Marino. He misses the touch, though, and Martin Storm trying to stick with it. Psycho going to help him out. Psycho still with it. Gets a touch through the defender, but Jeff Masters back makes the save. With a minute, 45 seconds left on the clock, Diffusion still leading by 1, Squirrel. And it doesn't look like, based on what I'm seeing in front of my eyes, I'm not sure that the Whelps are going to be able to break through this Diffusion defense.
Nah, the Diffusion defense is looking solid, but let me tell you, if the Whelps want to make it happen, Grebsy is going to have to get more involved. And Mr. Marino, with a demo coming out, he's got the right idea. Let's just see if Whelps can execute and send this one maybe into OT.
Perhaps an OT, maybe even ended in regulation. Either one of these teams has the ability to do it. And we'll see who finds the back of the net. If the Whelps are able to tie us up, or if perhaps Diffusion will get a second goal and extend their lead. That was dangerous. Putting the ball in front of the net. Mr. Marino almost getting a lucky redirect there. Jeff Masters putting one on net as well, but Martin Storm to knock it away. Grebsy gets up and gets all of that ball as Mr. Marino goes down and finds a demo. Martin Storm trying to get a good angle on the ball, but just can't find the touch he needed. In the final 30 seconds, Mr. Marino gonna find the pass from Grebsy, the back of the net, and gonna tie things up.
Yeah, Grebsy must be listening because he got very involved into that play, beating a defender, passing it off the backboard or the sidewall or the back wall middle for Mr. Marino to clean that one up. And Mr. Marino has been excellent shooting this series, and he puts another one in.
Grebsy missing his touch there, but Jeff Masters is going to get a little aggressive. Jeff Masters with the demo, leaving the ball for Grebsy. Grebsy trying to get it through, but Martin Storm going to 50 with him, sends it out. And the ball gets popped over the midline. Psycho there with it. 50s with Marino. Ball in the midfield. Grebsy gets it past removing Pillow, but Martin Storm makes the stop. The final 5 seconds, and Whelps close it out. No, it's going to touch. We've got an overtime in game number 4. Who's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen? Can Diffusion extend this series and send us into a game number 5? Or is the Whelps going to shut things down right here, right now, and walk away with the W? Only time will tell, as we have entered overtime and we have the golden goal situation on our hands. Next point wins. Jeff Masters is up. He gets the save, the Savior medal, and keeps it alive, keeps his dream alive for the Whelps, remaining undefeated. Mr. Marino with the touch, removing Pello in the mid. Can't find what he's looking for. Jeff Masters sends it in, sends it home. Was gonna close it out for the Whelps. Diffusion gonna take a loss there. Wow. Good play from Jeff.
Yeah, and you hate for it to end that way. Removing Pillow had like a pretty open free touch, but just doesn't quite get it. Jeff Masters makes a solid turn. He had the savior medal. He gets the closing goal, showing why the Whelps are undefeated as they put that series away. Diffusion, though, looked much better than a team that's below 500 right now, as they had a lot of close games against the Whelps and even took one off of them. Probably could have, if one or two things went a little differently, probably could have taken that series.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that that would have been a possibility, given that they almost did. We saw the patterns, we saw the ability that they had. It just unfortunately didn't work out for them. In the novice, you make mistakes. Heck, even up in the Titan League, you make mistakes. That's what gets you scored on, and that's ultimately what Diffusion got score. What got Diffusion scored on and gave them the L here tonight was just an unfortunate mechanical error there, right there at the exact wrong time. And unfortunately for Diffusion, Jeff Masters came in clutch, was able to take advantage of the situation and walk away with the dub here tonight. That's got to feel good. And I mean, it felt good for me to watch it personally. Felt good to cast it. And I don't know, Squirrel. It's probably going to feel not as good as our next match we got coming up.
Yeah, before we move on to the next match, let me just say the Whelps having to feel good, sweeping their division. But now we're going to head over to the Titan League coming up next. We've got Gravity taking on Spartans, and based on what I saw in support, I think there's going to be like a free agent use. There's Spartans looking very solid, Gravity on the struggle bus this season. So definitely definitely feel good about that series. Very exciting series. This next one, hopefully it's exciting. Hopefully Gravity can pull it through and make it exciting. But Spartans also looking solid up in the Titan League.
On a couple of shout outs real quick before we take a small break. Shout out to Music for the sub and a shout out to Nixoy for 7 months. Thank you for the support. Hats off to those guys. If we can get some pogoos in the chat for these fellas for their support. Really appreciate everything. But that's going to pretty much do us for this game right here. We've got one more game lined up for you, like Squirrel just told us, the Titan League. We've got the Spartans going up against, and I just brain farted, Gravity. Spartans versus Gravity. So go ahead and use the bathroom if you need to. Get some drinks, get some snacks, do what you need to do. Take a little stretch. We'll be back in about 5-ish minutes with that Titan League game, so you don't want to miss it.
Started to fall, and where were you? How could I know you were falling too? Grabbing the wind, cutting my skin, but it's hard because I'm falling. Tell me why I'm falling. Oh, life's calling, but it's hard because I'm falling.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League for our final matchup of the night, and we have a good one on hand for you guys here as we have Gravity taking on Spartans. I am once again, well, I'm back in the booth. It's been a hot minute for me. I guess I did Player of the Week this past week, but it's been a bit since I've casted, so I'm excited to be back and joined by the man who casted the last matchup. We got Squirrel. Squirrel, welcome back from vacation, and well, welcome back to the booth.
Thank you. It's good to be back casting Saturday Night Rocket League. I really missed it being away because I missed last Saturday, I missed Monday, I missed Wednesday, but it's good to be back today. Feeling refreshed, ready to go. Kind of wish I was playing so that I could get back into some Nemesis games, but nonetheless excited to put some work in.
Yeah, for sure. I know it was exciting to be back in my first game. They held me off a little bit. Squirrel. I had the power outage, which canceled one of our streams and didn't let me play the game. So that was fun. But yeah, it's good to be back and from my vacation as well. And should be exciting next week. But we have one more matchup to finish out this week. We have Gravity and we have Spartans. It is a divisional matchup, another one that's flexed from a Monday. And Squirrel, what can you tell us about this one as we're kind of waiting on people to hop in the lobby here?
Well, I can tell you one thing. It's very lopsided. Spartans sitting there with a very, very solid record. If I'm not mistaken, it is 6-1. Gravity sitting there at 1-6. So just complete opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to these division teams. But Spartans rocking the roster of Infant Jude, Shillin, Dank, and 10-piece Nugget taking on Gravity with Larry, Nexity, and Zenith. Hopefully they show up. That is the goal. But if not, I think the result's going to be the same either way, and I think Spartans are going to win.
I would say that's a bold prediction, but considering the records, you may be onto something. But we'll have to see. I did receive word as well that Gravity they are going to be playing with a sub as well. It looks like they're going to be bringing in Make a Wish, who was on the Reapers earlier in the season, 1854 MMR subbing in for Nexity. So we'll have to see. So it should be Larry, Zenith, and Make a Wish here. Once we get everyone joined in. I'm not sure if we've got everyone in here actually because the lobbies are glitched, but I've heard there were some people waiting, so we'll give them a little bit longer here as Looks like Spartans are finally joining in, but yeah, it should be an interesting one with Spartans at the top of the division, at the bottom, and Squirrel. We almost saw the upset there in the last one. I was rooting a little bit for Diffusion. I don't like to root for teams, but I root for content. We almost had the reverse sweep attempt in the last one there, and maybe we can see a similar sort of upset potential with 6-1 versus 1-6.
Yeah, in the last matchup, Diffusion really surprised me with how well they were hanging in there. It makes me think that anything can happen in these division matchups. So Gravity at 1-6, don't count them out. They have just as much of a chance to take this one as any other team. But Spartans, they are 6-1, but you got to think two of those wins coming from teams that are currently outside of the playoff position, and this might be their third win from a team outside of playoff position, as they are sitting in as they are the only team that's decent in their division. All the other teams sitting at let's see, 12, 14, and 15 respectively. So not a very good division they're in. So they've been farming some wins, but they are a solid team nonetheless, as they have some other good wins under their belt. But Gravity, maybe this is the point where they turn everything around.
Hey, you never know. There's always those turning points, and you kind of mentioned it. They may be at 1-6, they may be towards the bottom half, but the bottom half of that Titan League, on the edge of that play-in picture. The play-in tournament new to Titan this season. It's been around in the other leagues, but first time in Titan. So Gravity, they still have a shot. That's the one thing I really like about this format, Squirrel, is that even though Gravity they may be 1-6, they can turn it around, and all they got to do is get to that 10th spot, maybe push into the play-in tournament. And, who knows who knows what could happen from there. So a lot of potential there for that. But I think we have everyone in here. No one is responding to me when I ask if everyone's in here. The lobbies are broken again. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. The lobbies. They don't like to show us who's spectating. But I think everyone's in here. I don't know. But
You know, they
regardless.
they didn't respond to you last game either when you said
No,
join up, best of luck. So
no, they just sat there. They just sat there. I was telling them, enjoy them, best of luck. Spammed a little bit in the chat, in the in-game chat, and they still didn't see anything. And then, I had to wait a couple minutes before they finally realized. So looks like Gravity is all here. We'll check see if Spartans if they're good. And then we should be able to get things going here for a final match of the night. But I know, Squirrel, you made the prediction. You said that Spartans are going to win, regardless of who is going to be playing for Gravity. You still sticking to that? And if so, what do you think the score is?
I called 3-0 last series and ended up being 3-1. But if you call it again, it's got to be right eventually, right? So I'm gonna go with the 3-0 as my prediction. But I'm gonna be praying for some content. I would love to see some Game 5 action. I would love to see a reverse sweep. But it's it's gonna be an uphill battle.
Well, hey, you know what? I think it's the gambling mindset there. You hit it enough, you bet it enough, Squirrel, you got to hit at one point. So we'll see if your 3-0 prediction is correct. And it actually appears like we're waiting on one from Spartans here who is loading up into the game. So we better hurry because technically they got only about 2 minutes to get in here. So
That
we'll be seeing if they can hop in here.
Now that would be some content right there.
Forfeit.
The forfeit win on stream would be something, and that's one way to make Spartans mauled and get Gravity to have some momentum.
That's very true. That's very true. We'll have to see. It looks like Manzar flying is good here. I think 10-piece nugget just left though. Is gravity good then? We'll just make sure, confirm one more time, and then we'll get things going because I think one of them left the lobby. So of course, but
Yeah,
regardless, should be getting going here soon.
I think
Um,
I think 10-piece Nugget is the sub, so I think he was leaving because it is a stream game.
okay, well, we'll wait for confirmation from Gravity. I guess I can look to see who's all in their voice channel. Zenith, Make a Wish, and Larry are in there. So that is interesting though. I don't is he actually on their team? I'm trying to look in their chat because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you got to look at Spartans because
Oh, it's Spartans.
yeah,
Spartans. I'm looking at Gravity. Okay. Well, so Gravity. Spartans said they were all good. It looks like I don't know. I think they're good. I think we just tell them to join on up and pray.
Yep. Yep. If they're not here, then
Hey, it's been
they
10
they
minutes
for
past.
I say if they're not here, they just forfeit, right?
Whoever doesn't join, they're toast.
Yep.
looks like everyone's in, so it looks like they're joining up here. So we should be getting our match going here for our final matchup of the night to the Titan League, the best of the best. The Nemesis has to offer here, going at it. It looks like everybody's in. Looks like everything is getting going here as we get game 1 of this best of 5 underway. We have Gravity in the purple with Zenith, Larry, and Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish coming in as a sub that we mentioned. And then Spartans, Man Are Flying, Shylin, and Dank. And we didn't talk too much about the roster, Squirrel. What do you make of these guys as we get into things?
I think Spartans getting to use their full roster here is super clutch. That 10-minute delay kind of helps them out because their starter was able to make it, and Gravity having to use a sub, but getting the first goal, always a positive sign.
And yeah, there they go. I thought Larry's getting the double tap, but I bet you Mans Are Flying did too, as Zenith, former Pinnacle member there, going to put that one in, and that is a good start score. That's what you like to see. I know in the last series when Diffusion, they weren't necessarily like super underdogs, but they were a little bit underdogs, and then, when you're an underdog on stream, you got to start out with the momentum and get the first goal there.
Absolutely, and Make-A-Wish, I said it in one of the preseason things that's my favorite name in Titan League, so I am hoping that he succeeds and makes a statement here tonight. Larry, I think, is a 2K, so always expecting some great things out of him. And Mans Are Flying coming in hot, tying this one up, and I was really worried that he would be coming out cold as he joined late.
Yeah, but he is not, and he's the top player there, near 2K for the Spartans there in 1978. So definitely you got to watch out for him and watch out for Larry, who's the other 2K that you mentioned. So Mans Are Flying and going to tie things up here in game number 1 as we're only a minute in. As this one's set back towards that Zenith, racing back, going to pre-flip into that save on the goal line. Nice one from him as Gravity getting it back in the Spartan zone. Shylin only as far as Zenith there. Is Larry keeping it in? Dank awkward there, almost throwing in his own net, but it's going to be cleared away to the corner for the time being. Shylin bumped into Larry. Good look to take this guy. What does he have for us here? He goes off the ceiling. Oh my goodness, can he hit the touch? No, Dank is going to save it. And Squirrel, I was having a flashback to the goal of the season from a couple seasons ago. That one going to the ceiling.
Yeah, that was it was almost identical. It was a great opportunity, but Larry couldn't quite get it done. And while you were looking at that, I was too busy focused on Shillin's car, because what is that monstrosity that he's rocking?
That is something there. I think when you just I don't know, Squirrel. You're just trying to get as many colors as you can on there as Mans Are Flying. Almost put that one home, and yeah, that is in fact a car. And hey, when some people get to the higher ranks, Squirrel, they go for the clean car design, but not Shylin here. He says screw the status quo. I'm gonna throw as many colors as I can.
Hey, I like it. It's not boring. Hopefully, it's effective, and if he can compete and not be distracted, more power to him. And Rockman, I have a question for you. Is Infant Jude on the roster? Is this Mans Are Flying? Is that his name?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just making sure anyone that might have been confused looking at the public player sheet, they are the same person.
Yes, they are the same person. And he was putting an impact in early as Gravity trying to a little bit of a comeback here. There's Mans Are Flying, getting it clear to the side, but Larry trying to send it back in. Dank gonna shut it down for now. This one popped up, and Shylin gonna clear it. It's gonna be left in the middle. Here comes Larry, though. Sending it off the backboard, just a little bit wide. Mans Are Flying, gonna make the touch and save that one away. So we're still knotted up at one apiece. Mans Are Flying, gonna flick it down towards the net. Zenith trying to race back to it. He's gonna make the save as Make-A-Wish a huge clear off that quick touch. And now, a minute 40 left, Squirrel. Both these teams did their scoring quickly early, and now kind of locked in a little bit of a stalemate.
Yeah, it seems like they figured each other out rather quickly. Both goals coming early, and now it's an absolute stalemate as neither team able to get an advantage. But from that touch from Mans Are Flying, it looks like the advantage is going to go in favor of Gravity, even if it's just momentarily.
Here comes Larry off the backboard. Mans Are Flying. Gonna find that double tap. As Zenith pops it up, Mako is trying to read this one off the backboard, gonna find a touch, but doesn't quite go where he wants it. Now to Larry, gets a little bit wide as Dank out in the midfield to Manzar flying for the shot, but Zenith able to save that ball and find the clear. As here he comes again, send this one downfield. Shylin is there, but he can't make the touch. It's off the post. The shot attempt is not quite quick enough. As Spartans survive there, a rare missed opportunity there, Squirrel, as a missed touch and then a missed opportunity to get the shot.
Yeah, it's not something you see often in Titan League. Usually they're very solid about capitalizing on all of their opportunities, but Psycho mentioned it last game or last cast. He said that, you know, the only time you'll get scored on is if you don't capitalize and you make a mistake. But if you don't capitalize on the offense, then it's going to end up being a bad time.
Well, in 10 seconds now, we're tied at 1. Can we see our first overtime here in game 1? We can see a buzzer beater goal. This one shot towards the net. Manzar flying with the clutch save on the goal line. And now he's trying to take it back, but he can't find the touch. And this ball is just going to float. Shylin actually going to keep it up. Could that be the wrong decision, though, as it's in their zone? It's going to touch the ground, and we got overtime in game 1.
Yeah, I would have been yelling at Shylin if I was in comms right now. Like, just let it drop, let it drop. Like, get the ball, let us reset, and we'll see how this reset does as Manzar flying already got control.
Larry blocked out by Shylin. This one's popping up Dank. Sending across the midfield. Zenith trying to get to the touch, but he's not quite able to get to it, and Manzar flying is going to end this game for the Spartans.
Yeah, just a solid 50 off the sidewall. Zenith just flying by that one. Not quite able to get the touch as he just came in too hot, too speedy, but not able to get it, and that's gonna seal their fate for game 1. Spartans taking it 2-1, a much closer game than I thought, and you know that's a good sign for some content, Rocker Man.
It definitely is, and for the first game playing with Mako-ish there, obviously he didn't quite get the score that he was looking for in that one. But he's down at the bottom of the scoreboard. But hey, with their first game coming in together as a team, showed some good signs, especially with the free agent, and we'll see if the Spartans can hold on or Gravity can come back. As these two teams never met before, with the Spartans this being their first season. But I know here for Speed, the GM for the War Room, they're trying to get to win Squirrel, as they are 5-16 all time against Momentum. So they are really riding here on the Spartans and hoping that they can pull something off in game 2. And with that game 1 performance, they definitely have the possibility to.
Yeah, Momentum, an org that has always had some pretty solid teams in the lower league, and their Titan team struggling this season. So this is a great chance for War Room to catch up as they get to play them multiple times this season. And Larry putting in the first goal of this game, just an absolute banger of a shot.
Yeah, nice pass from Zenith, and right over the last defender is Larry. And put that one home. And I think actually the score right before that, it looks like Spartans missed. I think it was an open net there. They just threw it off to the post, which another rare enforced error. And Spartans, they don't appear to be playing at their peak. I mean, they are 6-1. Haven't seen too much of them before, but to be 6-1, you don't really expect that many mistakes. And Gravity, they've done a pretty good job capitalizing and avoiding.
Yeah, 6-1, and I'm pretty sure their only loss was without their full roster. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong there, but with their main roster, I don't think they've lost a game. So, just unforced errors like you mentioned, these just should not be happening if you're going to be a top tier Titan team.
It's true, and I don't know if you mentioned this before the cast or during the cast, but I know you mentioned saying that they've only played a couple of teams that were in the playoff contention, and even one of those teams was Pinnacle, who also had their subs. So we're kind of trying to see what this Spartans team is made of here, looking if they can make a statement on stream. But Gravity leading in game 2, looking to tie this series up. Is Larry out in the midfield? Shylin gonna send it up high, going for the flip reset, but a touch just comes through barely in time. It's this one sent out. Make-A-Wish and Larry gonna combine a little bit. Shylin slowing it down for a moment. The demo comes through, Larry pitching it across, but Dank will shut that one down. Now send it back in the zone. Zenith on a stop. Dank gonna send it out. Manzar flying Looking to take it back across as these teams just kind of dribbling around here. Dank might be faking out here. Shylin takes the shot, but again, it's not going to go. And it's almost Squirrel. I know we're only 2 minutes in, but it's looking like a lot like game number 1 there. Early goal, and then now just kind of offense. Not able to find the back of the net.
Yeah, the only difference is Spartans haven't gotten that early goal of their own. As we saw, it was mostly tied for a basically all of game number 1 until that goal in overtime. So, Spartans look to get one here, but if they don't, then they might start to panic here quickly, as they're not very used to losing a whole lot.
Was that one almost a nice play there from Gravity, looking to extend their lead? So they're hoping to find themselves a tied series. And yeah, that's true. You have to wonder. I was thinking this, Squirrel, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. We mentioned the Whelps a couple of times earlier, but having such a good record at the beginning of the season, there's a lot of pressure to that. To try to stay either undefeated or be at the top of your game, because everybody is hunting for you when you're such a seemingly good team with your record.
Yeah, it's really easy to be a team when you're winning, but when you're facing like adversity, that's when true colors start to come out, and Zenith puts in a second one, and Spartans have their back against the wall right now.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish throwing this one hard off the backboard, and Zenith, good speed this time. He was a little bit too quick at the end of the last game, but the speed pays off this time as he finds a second, and Gravity looking with this 2-goal lead here, trying to tie things up and looking for another. It's not going to go. We'll have to see as this comes out. Dank, it could be a one-on-one. Can he take down Zenith? No. Zenith's just too powerful. His mans are flying with a great clear. They have to send it back down. 1.5 minutes remaining in game 2. Spartans took game 1 in overtime. This one's off the backboard. As Zenith is coming through, crossbar down. He puts it home, and it's a 3-0 lead for Gravity. They are starting to look good.
Yeah, Zenith, his second goal of this game on his 2 goals for 4 shots, 50% shooting. Make-A-Wish getting a lot more involved in this game with 2 assists, breaking that well over that 100-point mark in this game. Something that he couldn't do in game 1. And, whenever you have a free agent sub, they're always going to be the X factor to look at. And for him to get involved and help Zenith score these goals is huge.
Definitely, and he has some experience in Nemesis. A new player this season, but we mentioned he was on the Reapers earlier, so he can play. He can play here, and like you said, the X factor for sure. With a good performance so far in game 2, see if he can keep it up here. So he's making a shot towards net, forcing Dank to make the save. As Dank bumped off of it, it's out in midfield. Shylin towards the net. But Larry going to patiently clear that one away. Mans are flying, send it back in. Make-A-Wish towards the net. Dank, he cuts it off, but Spartans, they're really trying to get it out here. As Gravity had put on a bit of sustained pressure. This one out in midfield. Dank looking for the shot there for Larry. A nice save as he picks up a Savior medal, his 3rd of the game. This one just off the backboard, but the shot not quite quick enough. This one taking it down. It looks like Gravity is going to be able to hold on. Here's Larry looking to get mechanical, but just not enough pace on it. But looks like, unless we see the craziest comeback in Nemesis history, Squirrel, looks like Gravity is going to tie this series up.
Yeah, and I'm eating my words again. We're not getting the sweep, and as I thought this one was, I thought this was more like set to be a sweep than last one, with the records, the FA sub, everything working out in favor to call a sweep. But I'm glad Gravity giving us some content, extending the series, and honestly, looking like the better team here as Spartans will get 1 for the road.
Yeah, Gravity, they really, like you said, in this game they started to look a lot better. As I think this one may have just been own goal there at the end, so maybe a little bit BM there, but Gravity, they take the victory. And you mentioned it, Squirrel. I honestly agree with you. Gravity, they look like the better team in that game. I don't know, the Spartans were just kind of surprised, caught off guard, knowing sometimes you can do that, Squirrel. You can overlook a team who's at a lower record and kind of put them off, be like, psh, they're not going to do anything. And sometimes you can get hit in the mouth like this, and now it's up to Spartans to respond.
Yeah, we see it all the time in professional sports where like these really good teams will just get a random loss to a bad team, and everyone's going to be like, what the heck? But it's just like, they're all the same rank for a reason. Anyone can win on any given day. It just depends on who shows up ready to play. And in game 2, Gravity showed up and they were definitely ready to play.
Yeah, they were. And now, as we head to game number 3, what does Gravity have in store for us? Can they keep it rolling, or will the Spartans keep showing us why they are 6-1 on the season, improve to a 7-1 record? We're going to find out as we're into game 3 on Aquadome. Gravity versus Spartans, the final matchup of week number 4 here on Saturday Night Rocket League. Zenith trying to start it out early, and he will, and that is a way to start it out there. 1-0 early for Gravity.
Yeah, Shillin, not quite the touch he wanted. Gets demoed for his efforts, and Zenith with a nice angle, putting that one between the defender and the wall to hit that one into the goal. Just a great showing, as he's been hot this whole series and continues to be so.
Yeah, he is putting on a show there, and he's looking like the man. I know we have Larry the 2K, but a lot of times, Squirrel, there is a lot of pressure on the 2Ks, but you mentioned the free agent sub being an X factor, and maybe Zenith kind of being the X factor here in this one. When you got 2 2Ks battling out, it's a lot about those those other guys that have to step up and make an effort.
Yeah. Whenever you build a 2K, put a 2K on your roster, you're really wow, what a play. I'll finish that thought later, as this was just an impressive air dribble and good communication, getting the demo in goal, opening that one up to tie it up. Just a great teamwork there.
My goodness, that was nasty. That was nasty right there from Manzar Flying. As he pulls out the demo play there, and Shylin dribbled it home, and that's another way to start yourself some momentum there, especially when it seemed like it was going all Gravity's way. Able to get a demo goal, but this one coming right back off the backboard. Dank can't make the touch, but Gravity not respecting the miss there. And Shylin for the shot, Make-A-Wish just enough to get it. As Larry tries to clear it out. Zenith off to the side here, Manzar Flying. Sending it in off the backboard. A nice little pass. Shylin is there, but Zenith, he shuts it down, and already we're barely even a minute in, and Zenith, he has a savior medal.
Yeah, Zenith is popping off, and what I was mentioning earlier was whenever you put a 2K like Larry on the roster, you're gonna want to just pray that the supporting cast around him can keep up, and Zenith not just keeping up, but honestly having such a great showing that I'm surprised that he's not one of the 2K players in Titan League.
It's very true, as like you said, just a performance here. So we're tied at 1 apiece. This one popped up. Dank sent it down. Make-A-Wish gotta be careful here. He can't get the touches. He's trying to avoid a demo, and this one finds the back of the net.
Yeah, capitalizing on that double commit. Make-A-Wish not able to get it, as like you said, he did have to avoid that demo. And Dank, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first season in Titan League, coming from Rival League, and he is having an absolute great showing so far with the Spartans roster.
You may be right on that. He may have played last season. I could be wrong though. But he's definitely relatively new to Titan League, and like I said, a good showing here on this one. This one sent across in the midfield. Zenith out in the midfield. Demo from Dank as Manzar Flying and coming in. Another bump comes through the bumps of the demos, and maybe this is part of their strategy, Squirrel.
Yeah, they heard us say that Gravity looked like the better team, so they definitely wanted to prove that was wrong by just absolutely bullying them in net, not allowing them to make these saves, not allowing them the opportunity to even touch the ball, as they were just getting wiped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I will say, Squirrel, if you're not on the map, you're not making the saves. So that is a strategy, and I'm a man that knows and loves demos and bumps myself. As I love to see Gravity now. They're gonna be the ones trying to respond as a pinch attempt comes through, but not gonna find the net. As here comes Zenith up quickly. He had to put a shot on, but not quite able to find the back of the net. So here comes Manzar Flying. Larry, he's on the touch, send it towards the net, and Make-A-Wish trying to get a bump of his own. But Dank just enough to get that one away. It's now 2 minutes remaining here, and finally, Squirrel, we're having a little bit of a different game here with Spartans up 3, as here comes Gravity. Oh, a little bit of a double commit, couldn't quite throw that one on net.
Yeah, I've seen a few double commits out of Gravity, but the thing that I really want to point out is Make-A-Wish sitting at 44 points. We saw him sub 100 points in their first loss. He's sub 100 points right now. So Larry dribbles one in, but I think Make-A-Wish needs to step it up if they're going to want to win this series.
Definitely so, as you see this ball just fly into the back of the net from Larry. A nice little play as he puts it home, and Gravity now with an opportunity here in this crucial game number 3, as they might have another one here. Here comes Make-A-Wish, but it's just off. He had to try to get it around the defender, but couldn't quite find the back of the net as Dank on the flip reset. Larry popping this one up. Manzar flying is there first. He's blocked. This one pops up high. Here comes Dank. Trying to make something happen here, but it's stuck in the midfield. This one shot towards the net. Manzar flying just enough, able to get that pre-flip save back towards net. And we're down to a minute remaining here. The Spartans have 3 goals here, Squirrel, but does Gravity have something here? As here comes Larry looking for the redirect. Or backboard read there, but couldn't quite find it. And I'm curious, Squirrel, does Gravity have what it takes here to find one more?
Definitely have the ability to, but it's all going to depend on whether or not Spartans allow it to happen, as they are playing good on both sides of the ball, and they've really kind of suffocated Gravity in this game, not giving them as many opportunities, making their defensive stays really awkward as Zenith forced to make a save, and with 25 seconds left, I'm sitting in the house right now.
You really have to here as the seconds are ticking away. They need one goal to tie us up and send us to overtime. The time ticking down. Shiloh with a nice touch to keep away from Larry. It's Make-A-Wish trying to get it out, but it's denied. So a little bit of a pinch attempt comes through. Manzar flying. He's taking it the other way. He is actually bringing it back into his own zone. That is dangerous. The ball's out of the midfield. Oh my goodness. It's off the ceiling. Can they find a follow? Touch doesn't come through. Make-A-Wish off the wall. And this ball is going to go down. And oh my goodness, they almost just threw that game away there.
You know, to me, Manzar flying had complete control of that ball. There was no reason to jump up to try to help him, and that almost got really bad. But you know, it didn't. They ended it. They got the ball to touch the ground. Spartans take a 2-1 lead, but it was not without a little bit of heartache.
Yeah, that one, you know, that gets you up there. Blood boiling there. Well, maybe not boiling, but blood pressure going up a little bit as that one a little bit sketchy, but they hold on. That's the most important part. Spartans hold on, take a 2-1 lead in that crucial game, and now we're looking at game number 4, Squirrel, where Gravity, they had a good response in game 2, but what do you think they have in store for game number 4?
You know, I think it might be a coin flip at this point. Like, you know, they've traded games so far. This would be their time to win it and push it to game 5. So they can do it. They showed a lot of life in that last game. It's just if the 50s go their way, they'll get it, and if they can just avoid a few of these demos, I think they'll be fine.
All right, well, we will have to see if they can do just that, and I can see if a game 5, it would be great to see one on the nights. This one sent back towards the middle with Make-A-Wish, just not on target. As now Spartans weren't quite ready in the back there. But it doesn't matter. It's Larry. He might be looking for a bump. He's trying to take out Shiloh. Actually, just trying to hit it in. Oh my goodness, he puts it in. I thought he was going for the bump, but he had different ideas.
When he went up the wall, I was like, what are you doing? And that is what he is doing, is he jumps off the wall, saves his flip, the ball coming at the perfect height, and he's just there to put it in. That is one of the crazier passing plays that I've ever seen.
That was insane there. I mean, how often do you see something like that score where you pass it literally point blank on the backboard? That ball was almost touching the backboard, and Larry's able to find it in. That is, again, another great way to start it out in this one for Gravity. But can they keep it going, and can they force a game 5? That's what we're all looking for, and well, maybe not all of us, but some of us are hoping for. Is this one sent back out? Dank blocking across the midfield. Dangerous ball here. Shiloh towards the net. It's going to go in, and he is going to tie us up here in game 4.
Yeah, just a good touch there by Dank, sending it to the middle. Larry not able to get the touch as Shiloh puts it on net to tie this one up. And, you know, it seems like Gravity works so hard for their goals, but Spartans just, like, find a way to capitalize and counter back, and it's like it seems like they're not working as hard for theirs as Gravity is for theirs.
That's a great point, and that's something to consider here, especially when you're looking at how a series is going. Who's working hard for their goals, and that can play a toll on you as the series goes on. The harder you have to work, the more effort there, and maybe harder to get some more goals in the future. And right now, Spartans' goals, they've been easy. Gravity, they've had some tough ones, but this one is a nice shot from Larry. He has got 2 shots, and he has got 2 goals, and he's got Gravity the lead.
Yeah, Larry, a great touch, and just absolutely dusting Dank, who was last man back going up for that one. I guess he thought Shillen had rotated quicker, but not quite, as Dank just gets absolutely beat on that one.
3:26 remaining. We've seen these type of stories before, and Spartans, have shown to battle back here. See if they've got it in them again, as this one's popped up to Shylan towards the backboard, looking for a dunk, but Make-A-Wish, good backboard presence there. This one to the corner, Zenith. Gonna get it by 1, but no boost to work with there. His mans are flying, he's by 1. Dangerous Make-A-Wish just in time to get that one, as Shylan is up. Barely able to clear it away as Make-A-Wish finds a demo, and he's hunting for another one. Mans are flying and gonna get it, and here we see it again score. We saw Spartans last game getting those demos, and now Gravity, they're saying, hey, that worked for you guys. Maybe it can work for us.
Hey, it's a great strategy. Anytime you can give yourself a numbers advantage in really any video game, you should. And for them to be seeking out those demos to counteract the aggression from the Spartans, I think it's the right move.
Definitely so, and it worked there, and we'll have to see if they can find another one on the board here. It's 2-1 in game number 4. Gravity looking to force a game 5 as 2 Spartans are committed in this one. Make-A-Wish takes it back. Shylan diving in, Make-A-Wish over the top of him. Make-A-Wish on it again, trying to pop it up, but a missed touch comes through, but a demo from Mans Are Flying is going to save the pressure. It's Dank, he can't find that touch. Larry, he's hunting down Mans Are Flying. There's another demo comes through, and they're really putting it on him here. As we have 2 minutes remaining, the Spartans looking to end this series here. This is cleared away. Shylan off the sidewall, Mans Are Flying, looking for a back pass maybe, but this one dangerous, set it out to Larry, who finds the redirect, but it's off the post again. Another touch comes through, but it's not meant to be. And the time a little bit ticking, still well in reach here, Squirrel, but 1:30, and Spartans, they're still looking for another one here. They got 6 shots. They're actually leading the shot department.
Yeah, they are leading the shot department, but I think Gravity has just had the better quality shots, as that one coming out from Mans Are Flying. And, a minute left to play. Spartans still have plenty of opportunities left in this one, especially if Gravity's going to keep double committing like that.
Here's a passing play to Dank off the backboard. Shylan is there. Another double commit from Gravity. Mans Are Flying off the backboard. Zenith, he's going to take it by 1. He's trying to get it up the wall. Mans Are Flying, trying to get him from behind there, but this one pops out in the midfield. It's cleared away. Shylan up off the backboard. No boost to work with. A miss comes through as, oh my goodness, Zenith hits it off of Larry's car. But able to find another touch as they block it up. Gravity looking to get another one of their lead. Larry is up looking for Shylan. They can't find it. It's down to the final 30 seconds. Make-A-Wish is up. Gonna find a nice touch. Spartan's still looking for one here as a huge bump comes through. Dank trying to get it across. It's off the wall there. Could be a shot here for Shylan. Towards the net, but Make-A-Wish can't get it, and Shylan ties us up with 19 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Larry throwing this one right off the sidewall. Shillen ready for that bounce, and Make-A-Wish just not in the right spot in the goal to make that save, as Shylan gonna tie this one up 2-2, and we might even see another OT.
See another OT, and so close there for Gravity. Can they recover? Larry trying to get it by, but Dank, he shuts it down. Here comes Zenith off the ceiling, out in the midfield. Shylan is there. This one sent across to Make-A-Wish off the backboard. Dank can't connect, but a little bit too close. Here is Zenith towards the net again. Can they keep it up in the zone? Zenith popping it. Here comes Larry towards the net. Here comes Zenith off the backboard. This one is going to touch it. We've got another overtime on tap here.
Yeah, when you're a top team like Spartans and you've got another overtime and just so many close games, against a bottom team like Gravity, I started to understand a little more why the power rankers have been placing Spartans where they are, just because this is not a very convincing win.
Yeah, it may not even be a win. They are leading the series right now, but Gravity still has them in the potential to go to a game 5 here. So Larry can't make the touch. Here comes Zenith off the backboard of Shylin. Is there looking for another touch. Just able to get it out. Manzar flying is there. This one sent a little bit wide. Dank on this one. He's trying to dribble. This one shot toward that. Manzar flying, picking up a savior medal, but able to clear it away as Larry and Shylin combined. But Make-A-Wish getting a little bit too close there as this ball could be deadly, but it's going to be pinched back as we cross a minute here into overtime. Manzar flying on the backboard, looking to take it slow, going to get it by 1 as here comes Zenith for a demo. Shylin going to clear it out. Got to be careful on the back here as he finds another touch. Larry going to take it across. He's going for the musty, looking for a double there. He's going to find a touch, but here comes Dank with a touch of his own. This one's sent back out. But still in the gravity zone, a huge demo comes out. A pop, and this could do it. There it is. The game winner. Dank puts it home, and Spartans win.
Yeah, Larry, not a great touch. Make-A-Wish diving on that through the smoke screen, but the ball just popped out into the midfield. Dank hits those all day long. Spartans with the 3-1. Not the 3-0 like I thought it was going to be, but also each individual game not as convincing as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it really wasn't as convincing. And scroll for a second there, I thought for sure. I mean, 19 seconds left. I was just getting flashbacks of the last series where Diffusion almost brought it back to a game 5, and Gravity, they almost brought it to a game 5 themselves. I mean, 19 seconds away, but Spartans just a little bit too much to handle there, and they pull it off there, but it wasn't without its tense moments.
Yeah, it was definitely a much more intense series than I thought it was going to be. We didn't get any content tonight like I was hoping for, but uh, whenever I set my expectations one way and both series have just broken those expectations, I'm happy with it. I know Gravity not very happy with the results, but a lot of positives, and I think with Larry and Zenith, if you can build around those two, give them a solid third, there's no telling how good they could be.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, with seeing that performance, I don't know if it was, Spartans not playing well or Gravity playing really well, whatever it may be, but you have to wonder with, Nexity who didn't make it for Gravity and having used Make-A-Wish as the sub, you have to wonder if, maybe with Gravity now going down to 1-7, if a roster move is in order, maybe picking up Make-A-Wish there, who, honestly, Squirrel, he had a couple of, suspect moments, but when you're just thrown into a series here at the very end, what else can you really expect? And you wonder maybe Make-A-Wish could be making his return onto a team here. Not to throw anything against Nexity. I don't know really much about Nexity, but with their potential, it could be something to look for.
Yeah, they definitely look solid, and I was looking at the free agent list in preparation of this game. I saw Zayo was on the free agent list, and he would fit in place of Nexity. And I know Zayo has been in the league before. He's, proven as a Titan League player. So Gravity has a lot of options. Nexity, you know, if Nexity's better than Make-A-Wish, then that series would have been a completely different outcome. But Gravity looked good. Spartans, with their full roster, looked a little bit better, though, as they do get the 3-1 win.
Yeah, congratulations, Spartans. That is their 7th win in a row. Unfortunately, Gravity, that is their 6th loss in a row. So quite the tables there as Spartans take home the victory. So congratulations to them. But that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight. Again, a couple of shout outs again. I know Psycho shouted about last time, but thank you, Music, and thank you, Nixoy, for the resubs to the channel. We appreciate it. But that is gonna wrap it up for us tonight. We had 2 great matchups, and we will be back on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern with some more action as the season now, Squirrel, we're approaching that halfway point. So things are going to start to ramp up. All-Star voting and All-Star game is not too far around the corner. So lots to look forward to as we approach the midway point.
Yeah, always looking forward to the All-Stars part of the season because that's when you get to see the best of the best from each league compete on teams that normally wouldn't be possible due to MMR caps and restrictions. And hopefully, this is the season that Rocker Man doesn't get an All-Star vote.
Ooh, ooh.
Someone's got to break it. Um, as I'm sad that I'm going to miss out on it this season as well, being non-playing. But all these players, especially the ones on stream, they get exposure, helps them out in the votes. So even though Gravity isn't doing so hot, maybe Larry gets an All-Star vote, or maybe Zenith because of his performance today. So y'all stick around. Look out for some announcements, especially when the voting opens up, because we'd love to have your votes and who you would like to see play on stream for our All-Star Week.
Definitely stay tuned. That is actually only 11 days from now on June 29th. So stay tuned for that. Coming up in a little bit will be the All-Star voting, and then All-Star week, pretty much the week of the 4th there, July 4th, leading up to that Saturday night there for All-Star night on July 9th. So it's coming up around the corner. We're also, like I said, getting that midway point where things are starting to get set. Things are starting to get set in those standings. We're seeing who's in, who's out, who's going to be pushing for that play-in tournament, who's going to be staving off elimination here coming up soon. So lots to look forward to. We'll be back on Monday with some more Nemesis action. We thank you guys for watching here, and have a great night, everyone.
I've been putting in the hours, and it's coming down to now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours.